Kyle and Sosie loved adventure. They were always on the move, seeking new experiences and thrilling escapades. From hiking up rugged mountains to embarking on spontaneous road trips, they thrived on the excitement of the unknown. They loved their new home even more. It was a dream come true, a place where they could finally settle down and create lasting memories. The joy of unpacking boxes and arranging their space brought them closer together. It was a houseboat on Stillwater Lake. Nestled in a serene setting, the houseboat offered a unique blend of tranquility and adventure. The gentle rocking of the boat and the soothing sounds of the water made it a perfect retreat. The water was blue, the trees were green, the picturesque scenery was like something out of a painting, with vibrant colours and a peaceful ambience that enveloped the entire lake. It was perfect, or so they thought. As dusk fell, the atmosphere began to change. The once inviting lake took on an eerie quality, and the houseboat's charm started to feel unsettling. "This is the life," Kyle said. He grinned at Sosie. They spent their days exploring the lake and their evenings enjoying the calm waters, feeling like they had found their own slice of paradise. Sosie smiled back. "It's amazing." She felt a deep sense of contentment, believing that they had finally found the perfect place to call home. But a shiver went down her spine. An inexplicable sense of unease crept over her, making her question the idyllic setting they had fallen in love with. Something felt off. The houseboat creaked. The once comforting sounds of the boat now seemed ominous, filling the night with an unsettling presence. The wind howled. It was their first night. The howling wind added to the growing sense of dread, making their first night on the houseboat one they would never forget. The next morning Sosie heard it, a whisper. "Get out!" Her eyes widened in fear. "Was it the wind?" Kyle frowned. "Did you hear that?" he asked. Sosie nodded, her heart pounding. "Someone's here. They searched the houseboat." "Nobody." "It's probably nothing," Kyle said, trying to sound brave. That night the whispers returned, louder, more menacing. They couldn't ignore it anymore. Days turned into a sleepless blur. The whispers continued. Then one night, Sosie saw it, a ghostly figure, a man. He was transparent, shimmering. He floated towards her. Sosie screamed, "Kyle!" Kyle rushed in. "What is it?" The ghostly figure vanished. "The ghost," Sosie whispered, pointing to the spot. "He was right there!" Kyle hugged her. He didn't believe in ghosts, but he couldn't explain it. Section 4. The Truth Surfaces. This is where the story takes a darker turn, revealing secrets long buried and fears that have haunted generations. They decided to leave. This was too much. The fear was palpable, and the urgency in their movements was a testament to the terror they felt. They couldn't stay another moment in that cursed place. As they packed, they found an old box. Inside, a faded diary. The box was covered in dust, untouched for years, hidden away in the attic as if it held the weight of the past. The diary belonged to a man named Elias. The pages were yellowed with age, and the cover was worn, but the words inside were still legible, telling a story of a life long forgotten. He lived on this houseboat. The houseboat, now abandoned and eerie, was once his home, floating on the misty waters, shrouded in mystery. He wrote about a hidden treasure. The entries detailed a treasure that was said to be hidden somewhere nearby, a treasure that many had sought but none had found. He wrote about someone trying to steal it. Then, a chilling entry. "He's after me." The words were scrawled hastily, as if written in a moment of sheer panic. "He's going to kill me for my treasure." The final entry was circled, the ink smudged as if by a trembling hand. It was a desperate plea, a final cry for help. That was the last entry. Elias disappeared. The houseboat was found adrift, empty and abandoned, with no sign of Elias or the treasure he wrote about. The treasure was never found. Despite numerous searches, the treasure remained elusive, a mystery that continued to haunt the waters. Kyle and Sosie exchanged a horrified look. The realization of what they had uncovered was overwhelming, the fear in their eyes mirroring the terror that Elias must have felt. The ghost, the whispers, it all made sense. Elias was trapped. The haunting presence they had felt was Elias, forever bound to the houseboat, his spirit unable to rest until the treasure was found. Section 5, trapped. Suddenly the houseboat lurched violently. They were moving, but no one was steering. "What's happening?" Sosie cried out, her voice trembling with fear. The night was dark, and the water around them seemed to close in. Kyle ran to the deck, his heart pounding in his chest. He gasped as he reached the helm. The houseboat wasn't moving on its own. The steering wheel was turning, but no one was there. It was as if an unseen force was guiding them. Then, out of the shadows, a figure emerged at the helm. It was ghostly, almost transparent, yet undeniably present. It was the ghostly figure of Elias. He turned slowly, his eyes burning with anger. He wasn't smiling, he was furious. He wanted them gone. He wanted his treasure back, and he would stop at nothing to get it. The houseboat sped toward the deepest part of the lake, the waters growing darker and more menacing. They were trapped with no way to escape, with a ghost who was no longer a protector but a captor. The air grew colder and the sense of dread deepened. They had to find a way out, or they would be lost forever.